Welcome in, everybody, to our deep dive today. And we're going to be talking about Amitabh Bachchan.
Oh, wow.
I think he's pretty synonymous with Indian cinema at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think a lot of people know his iconic roles, but we're really going to go beyond just the surface level today.
Yeah.
You've got a comprehensive biography we're going to be looking at. And we're going to be uncovering some really interesting layers of his life.
Absolutely. I mean, his story is so much more than just the films. It's a reflection, I think, of India's social and cultural evolution over, the past
decades. For example, did you know that his given name was Inquilab Srivastava?
Yeah. Inspired by the revolutionary slogan, Inquilab Zindabad, which is long live the revolution.
Long live the revolution.
They're pretty powerful.
It's a really powerful name to carry.
It is.
Especially thinking about the time that he was born into.
Yeah.
Right. So this is October 11th, 1942 in Allahabad.
Yeah.
And, this is the height of India's struggle for independence.
Right.
And on top of that, his family legacy is incredible.
Yeah.
So his father, Harivansh Rai Bachchan, he wasn't just a poet. He was
He was a literary giant, right?
Yeah, he was huge in the world of Hindi literature.
Absolutely.
And then you have his mother,
Teji Bachchan, who
had a deep love for theater.
Yes.
Talk about artistic expression being ingrained in him from the start.
Absolutely, right? That's the foundation right there.
Absolutely. And that name, Inquilab, it means the light that will never die.
Yeah. Wow.
And it kind of foreshadows his enduring presence in Indian cinema, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah.
And, of course, he adopted the screen name Amitabh. But
right.
Even that change carries with it a sense of destiny, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah. It's interesting how those names, reflect often a person's journey.
Yeah.
And his journey began, I think, with a pretty solid academic background, actually.
Yeah.
He was a bright student attending really great institutions like Sherwood College and then Kirori Mal College in Delhi.
And you might not think this, but he actually pursued a science degree.
Oh, wow. Yeah, initially, yeah.
Yeah, initially.
Yeah.
And, but the pull of the arts, was strong. So even during his college years, he was participating in theater groups and stuff.
Yeah, so that early passion kind of leads him after graduation to Calcutta, right?
Yeah.
And he took a corporate job, I think, but...
Corporate job.
Yeah. But, he couldn't stay away from that silver screen. It was too strong.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the late 1960s in Bollywood was a very different landscape than what we're used to.
Yeah, there was.
First of all, he was very tall.
Yeah.
And he tired over a lot of the actors that were, popular at the time.
Right, unconventional.
And then there's that voice.
In that voice.
Oh, yeah.
That deep baritone voice.
Which, can you believe?
It's funny because,
people saw that initially as a disadvantage. Which, can you even imagine that now?
No, not at all.
Right. His voice is...
That's like one of the most iconic things about him.
It's iconic, yeah, absolutely.
So it's hard to even picture Bollywood without it.
Yeah.
But it does show how, what a star is, right?
Right.
It's all about perception.
Yeah.
And that's evolved over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was determined. He faced a lot of rejection.
Oh, yeah.
But he made his debut in 1969 with Sat Hindustani.
Sat Hindustani.
Wasn't a huge blockbuster hit, but
it did get him a National Film Award for Best Newcomer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on. The National Film Award, that's a big deal.
That's huge.
That's presented by the government.
Government of India, yeah.
Yeah, one of the most prestigious honors, in Indian cinema.
So that's really about artistic excellence, not just commercial success.
Exactly.
And it really showed that he was,
a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, and then in 1971, he starred in Anand.
Anand, yep.
And he played a doctor alongside Rajesh Khanna.
Yeah.
And he won the Filmfare Award for Best Supporting Actor.
He did, yeah.
Which proves, he could hold his own against, the biggest names in the industry.
Yeah, Anand was a critical and commercial success.
Yeah.
And really, it just solidified his position in Bollywood. And it showed his versatility, too, because, it's a lighter role, right?
Yeah.
So he could kind of move between, lighter and more dramatic with ease.
But 1973, this is where it all changes.
Yeah.
This is Zanjeer. This is huge.
This is huge. Sanjir, yeah.
It wasn't just a film. It was a cultural phenomenon.
Right. This is where, we have that birth of the angry young man.
Angry young man.
He played, Inspector Vijay Khanna.
Yeah.
This kind of brooding, disillusioned cop fighting, against a corrupt system.
Oh, yeah.
And, that resonated with audiences.
Huge. Yeah. And it's because India in the 1970s was grappling with a lot of economic and social anxiety.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
People were disillusioned with the establishment and this character.
Yeah.
He had the raw anger and the determination.
He did.
That really channeled all of that frustration.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And this was a big departure. Because before this, it was a lot of romantic musicals.
Yeah. And this was really gritty. It marked a shift towards something much more realistic. Realistic, yeah.
Yeah, and he really became the face of this new wave.
Yeah, he did.
From that point on, he had so many hits. D-War, Chalet, Dawn.
Yeah.
And these all explored similar themes, about societal injustice and the struggles of the individual and
moral ambiguity
right.
through this angry young man lens.
Through this lens, yeah. And
his intensity, his dialogue delivery, his screen presence, it just captivated everybody.
And he wasn't just acting, he was embodying a generation.
Yeah, he was.
And their hopes and their frustrations.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, that persona, that angry young man persona,
yeah,
it was so rooted in the socio-political context of the time, but it still resonates today.
Absolutely, it does.
That just speaks to
the power of those performances that they transcend, time and cultural barriers. Yeah,
absolutely. But he's got a personal life,
right?
Alongside
this meteoric career, one that includes love, family, and even politics.
Politics. We're going to get into that in part 2.
Oh, right.
All right. So we just saw how Amitabh Bachchan, he completely transformed Bollywood cinema with this angry young man persona.
Yeah.
But, there's another side to this story, right? One that I think shows us, how deep his character is.
Absolutely.
And, his personal life is pretty fascinating. It's got love. It's got family.
It's got it all.
And it even has politics. A little bit of a foray into politics. Right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting how his personal journey sort of intertwines with his professional life.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think that often kind of mirrors, complexities and the contradictions of Indian society at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's start with his marriage.
Okay.
So in 1973, he married the actress Jaya Baduri.
Yeah.
Now, he met her on the sets of Goody.
Yeah.
And their love story, it was public, right?
Oh, yeah. Everybody was fascinated, right?
And they remain one of the most, enduring couples
absolutely
in Indian film.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's pretty incredible how they managed to deal with all of that fame and the public scrutiny and everything.
Yeah.
And still build this,
strong family unit. Yeah. Yeah.
And they've got 2 kids.
2 children, yeah.
Shweta Bachchananda.
Yeah.
And Abhishek Bachchan.
Yeah, who followed in his parents' footsteps.
Followed in the footsteps, right into acting.
Yeah. So there's this kind of, lineage there, right?
Yeah. And then on top of all of this, in 1984, he decides to get into politics.
He does.
And he supports his friend
Rajiv Gandhi. He
wins the Allahabad parliamentary seat.
Yeah, landslide victory.
Yeah. And he enters, the world of politics, right?
Yeah, it was seen as a natural extension, right?
Yeah.
Of that angry young man persona, right? Yeah. Now taking on real world injustices, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It generated a lot of excitement.
Oh, yeah.
Did he actually, run on angry young man?
Well, no, not literally, right?
But that was the feeling.
Yeah, that
was the vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, the vibe, yeah.
So his political stint was actually pretty short-lived.
It was short-lived, yeah. He resigned after 3 years. Yeah. He was kind of disillusioned, I think, by the complexities and compromises of politics. Yeah, it's a messy business.
It's a whole different world.
It is, yeah.
And, his departure was as sudden as his arrival.
It was, yeah. A lot of people were like, whoa, what just happened?
What's going on? Yeah.
And, I think it speaks to his idealistic nature.
Yeah.
He entered it, I think, with this pure desire to change things,
Help people, yeah.
Help people, but the reality is it's not like the movies.
Right. And it's a reminder that even icons, right?
Right.
With this massive influence.
Yeah.
Sometimes They butt heads with reality.
They do, yeah.
And, I think it says a lot about his integrity that he just walked away.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't going to compromise his values.
So then he goes back to cinema.
He does, yeah.
And, this starts this whole new chapter in his life.
Yeah, absolutely.
In 1982, he's filming Coolie.
Coolie, yeah.
And, he has this near-fatal injury on set.
On set, yeah. And, I mean, it wasn't just a setback, right? This was like a national crisis.
And the whole country was holding its breath.
Yeah, everybody was glued to the news, right?
Yeah, and it was people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
They were just coming together, praying.
Yeah, it really showed, I think, the depth of his connection.
Yeah.
With the audience, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a profound impact.
On everyone.
Yeah, for him, I mean, professionally, personally, right?
Yeah.
He's kind of confronting his own mortality.
Mortality, yeah.
And reassessing everything.
Yeah.
So Coolie finally gets released.
In 83.
And it's massive, right? I mean, huge box office success.
And they actually changed the narrative.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
To include his real-life injury.
To incorporate that, yeah.
So it was really blurring those lines.
Blurring the lines between, fiction and reality, right?
Right.
Yeah, and it was almost like the audience's collective will, propelled it to success.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, they were so invested in his well-being that they just had to see the film.
And it was seen as this, victory over fate.
Absolutely.
Hope and resilience.
Yeah.
So then he has this amazing comeback.
Yeah.
And then in the late 90s.
Yeah.
He hits another hurdle.
Right. Yeah, ABCL. Which stands for, Amitabh Bachchan Corporation Limited. I mean, ambitious.
It was this whole venture into film production, event management.
Yeah, diversification, right?
Yeah.
New platform for talent.
Yeah.
But things didn't go well.
No. I mean, a lot of unsuccessful projects.
Yeah.
And the economy wasn't great.
Right.
So he ended up having a lot of financial losses.
Yeah. Huge financial burden.
And, it put a big strain on him personally.
Absolutely, yeah. And he was under a lot of scrutiny, a lot of speculation.
And this is a far cry from,
Yeah, from this sort of invincible image. Right?
Invincible image, yeah. And it made him vulnerable.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, and it showed that even icons can face,
real life struggles. So, in classic Amitabh Bachchan fashion, he faces it head on.
Yeah, he does.
Takes responsibility.
Works tirelessly to kind of rebuild, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, it was a humbling experience for sure.
Yeah.
But it really showed his determination.
Resilience, yeah.
So he goes back to acting. With this renewed vigor. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
He was taking on these diverse roles.
He was.
That really showed his range, his versatility.
Experimenting. Character roles, even comedic parts.
Yeah.
Breaking away from that angry young man, right?
Yeah. So then 2000 rolls around.
And
we've got Kan Banega
Kortapati, or as we know it, KBC.
KBC, yeah.
Right, the Indian adaptation of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
And this was a masterstroke.
It was.
I mean, hosting this game show.
Right, because now he's connected to a wider audience than ever before.
I mean, this wasn't just a game show. It
was a cultural phenomenon.
It was cultural. It brought families together.
Yeah.
It was aspirational India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his demeanor, his calm demeanor.
Yeah, his wit,
yeah.
His ability to connect with these contestants from all different walks of life.
Yeah.
It just resonated.
It did. It really did, yeah.
So, KBC, it revitalized his career.
Yeah.
And it helped him with his financing.
Big time, right.
Financially.
Yeah, I mean, it solidified him as a national icon.
It did, yeah. I mean, somebody who transcended generations,
Yeah. Social strata,
yeah. So, I mean, his journey really is a testament to his,
of adaptability.
Yeah.
His willingness to evolve, reinvent himself.
Yeah. And it's about the love and support.
Absolutely. Of his family.
And his resilience.
Right.
And that connection with his audience.
Right. And it's still unfolding, right?
Yeah.
I mean, every chapter adds new layers.
Absolutely.
And his impact goes way beyond, just cinema, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, influencing social trends, cultural conversations,
Yeah.
Inspiring millions along the way.
I mean, it's amazing how he's managed to stay relevant.
Yeah, it really is.
For decades.
Across decades, yeah. Adapting to the changing landscape of the entertainment industry and the world, right?
Yeah, and I think there's a lesson in there.
Oh, yeah, I think there is.
For all of us, right?
Yeah, I mean, to embrace change, to learn from setbacks.
Yeah.
Never stop evolving. I think that's important.
Yeah.
For navigating the complexities of life.
No matter who you are. Yeah.
No matter who you are, yeah.
So, his story shows us that even amidst all that glitz and glamour,
right,
there are real life challenges.
Yeah.
Vulnerabilities.
Vulnerabilities, yeah. And it's through those experiences, I think, that we see true character.
So as we move to the final part,
okay,
we're going to see how he uses his platform for social causes.
Yeah, becoming a voice for change.
A voice for change, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we've really, journeyed through his whole career.
Yeah, we have.
We've seen this angry young man transform into this,
multifaceted artist,
this cultural icon. But what I think really sets him apart is his commitment to, using his platform.
For good, yeah.
For good.
He really is dedicated to making a difference. Yeah.
He's an advocate.
Absolutely.
Social change.
I mean, it's inspiring to see someone, with that level of fame really, wanting to make a change using that influence, yeah.
I mean, he's lent his voice, his resources to so many causes: education, healthcare.
Yeah, poverty, the environment. It's a wide range, yeah.
So one of the most notable things, I think, is his relationship with UNICEF.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's been a goodwill ambassador for decades.
Yeah, he has.
And, he's used his recognition
globally
to raise awareness about these issues that affect kids all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, and it's taken him to some really, tough places to be.
Yeah, I mean, he's seen firsthand these challenges.
Absolutely.
Poverty, conflict zones.
Yeah, natural disasters.
And, he's not afraid to talk about the tough stuff.
No, he's not. I mean,
polio, HIV, AIDS, gender inequality, child malnutrition.
He's spoken out against it all.
And it's not just talking.
Right.
He's really engaged.
Yeah, he engages, he listens to the communities, right? He wants to amplify their voices on this, on a global stage.
He's also been a supporter of education, especially for girls.
Right.
He really believes that that's the key to empower individuals.
To change things, to transform societies. Yeah.
Transform societies.
Yeah.
And he's even, created these educational trusts, scholarship programs.
Yeah.
Trying to provide underprivileged kids.
Yeah. Give them a chance.
A chance, yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we can't forget about the environment either.
No, his commitment to conservation, I mean, he's talked about sustainable living. Yeah, being, responsible stewards of the planet.
Yeah. And it's not just speeches.
No, I mean, he walks the walk, too.
He does.
Solar energy, reducing his own carbon footprint.
Yeah, leading by example.
And it's that consistency. I mean, he's not just, following a trend. He's been doing this for his whole career. It really shows, I think. Yeah, I mean, his commitment.
It shows his character, right?
His character.
Yeah, and the responsibility.
Yeah.
That he feels comes with that fame, right?
With that fame.
And influence.
So, we've reached the end.
We have.
Of our deep dive into Amitabh Bachchan.
I mean, it's clear.
It's clear.
And it's clear.
That he is so much more than
just an entertainer.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's an artist. He's a cultural icon.
A family man. Right.
An advocate.
Yeah.
For social good.
I mean, it's all about perseverance.
Yeah.
The importance of family. And how much impact one person can have.
One person, yeah.
On the world, yeah.
I mean, he's inspired generations.
He has.
With his performances, his resilience.
And his commitment to change. Yeah.
It's a reminder, I think, to all of us that we all have potential.
Yeah, absolutely.
To leave our mark on the world.
No matter who you are, yeah.
No matter what you do.
Yeah.
So if this story has kind of, sparked your curiosity, I mean, you should definitely check out his films.
Oh, yeah. I mean, explore his activism, a little deeper.
Yeah.
Or just, get into Indian cinema.
Yeah.
There's so much out there. Yeah.
All right. So that concludes our deep dive.
Yeah.
We hope that you have a new appreciation for Amitabh Bachchan.
The man behind the legend.
Yeah.